answer to this question.
Well, yeah, I'm the last. I actually wrote a paper in 2023 on reparations. If you would have asked me probably 10 years ago, I would have said no, because I was an ignorant white girl, and that's why I'm a really big advocate for education. I mean, I was raised around a bunch of white people, so I had no idea of like the history, the real history, and moving to Detroit really helped me with that and going to college. But yes, I agree, because like you said, everybody else has gotten them. When I learned that Jewish people did for the Holocaust, I was like, that wasn't even that long of an experience in comparison. So education is really important to me because it taught me a lot, and I can admit where my faults are. And you just said that the reparations go to the poorest of the poor. That's literally calling black people the poorest of the poor. That was just really insensitive and horrible. So if you're running in the 13th Congressional District, you should probably not say it like that.
All right, let's give all of the candidates a hand real quick. Okay, I'm gonna turn this.
This is what I do, because I am an ethical person. I'm classy. I'm a classy bitch. Am I not?
We are live. In today's interview, I'm talking to Shelby Campbell, who's the Democratic Party's candidate for the Michigan 13th District. How are you doing, Ms. Campbell?
Oh, I'm good. I'm actually an independent now, so.
Oh, well, what happened? Can you please share about that?
Yeah, the further I've gotten into this, the further I see that it's just like capitalism smacked into politics, and it's just very corporate-y, and I don't like the two-party system. I feel like they both take money and benefit, and don't actually help the general public.
Okay. So can you tell me about the makeup of the 13th Congressional District of Michigan? How is it laid out? What the towns are? Tell us about your experience inside that district and what is the makeup.
It goes from Grosse Pointe Shores all the way down to Romulus and through Detroit. Like Romulus, I don't know exactly where you're located, but it's like where the airport is. So there's, let's see, I'm looking at the map. There's a bunch of towns within the district. It's made up mostly of Wayne County. And I moved into the district 2 years ago. I lived in Macomb County, which is right above it, because I relocated out here. After my factory shut down in Illinois. So I am, Motor City. I didn't realize how much Motor City it really was. And now that I'm here, I can relate to the people because I am an automotive worker. So.
And so you work in the automobile industry, like Ford and General Motors and Chrysler.
Yep, I worked at the Chrysler one, but it's called Stellantis now, or whatever it's called. It's changed names so much.
Okay. And how would you, given that the nature of Detroit, and is your district a blue collar district? What's the makeup? I mean, is it blue collar?
Yeah, it's mostly blue collar workers, and yeah, that's what the city mostly is. There's a lot of factories. just a lot of small businesses and like working class people, just real people. It's very community based, at least in Detroit it is. Grosse Pointe is kind of more, I'd say they have more money, well off. So it's kind of a mixed demographic, but Detroit is like the biggest portion of it.
Okay. And you're running against I forgot his name, the guy with the weird hair.
Shri, yeah.
Yeah, Shri. And what is your reasoning running against him?
He takes money from DTE, and if the more you look into his history, the more corruption you see, and he's just a millionaire pretending to be a Democrat. He got sued in the early 2000s for discrimination against an employee, and I believe it was retaliation because he was a factory owner. He didn't work in the factory; he was the owner of it. So,
Mhm.
and then in like 2010, he left beagles to die in his animal like testing facility, and he was like, well, the bank foreclosed on it, like it's their responsibility, and it's like they were yours. Like you don't just leave animals to die. Like people were sneaking in there to feed them. And then in like 2019 he finalized a lawsuit where he got in trouble for inflating the cost of his company when he sold it to somebody, so he just was tweaking the numbers.
Okay. So so we got that out the way of the makeup of the 13th district.
Mhm.
My what is the main reason why you are running? Um
um Like I said, I saw he was taking money from DTE, and they like increase our rates. It's the electric company.
mhm.
They're just increasing our rates, and he's taking money from them, and he's taking money from Israel and pretending like he wants to stop the war. And I just want to make a change. I went to law school and for a little bit, and I know how to like analyze, read the laws. I understand how a lot of the laws have developed because it's literally just over time people changing their words and writing it down, and that's all it is. So we need real people in office to do that because they're so disconnected from what the regular individuals need. Like I pointed out, I was like, you've been in office for like 2 terms now or whatever, and you haven't put up any legislation to strengthen our federal labor laws. Like they just don't exist. Like employers can work you as much as they want for the most part, as long as they pay you for the 40 hours, like the required. But there's no restriction. It's up to the states. And a lot of the states don't have laws that restrict employers from working you.
Okay, I'm glad. Okay, let me start there because you mentioned late labor laws, and since you're
Mhm.
from the blue collar, which labor policies would you like to see change?
Minimum wage needs to be increased. I think that we need to do like a 32-hour work week or just something. It just needs to be for the people, not the corporations. Like we just need a flat across the board like profit sharing or universal basic income, or just things like that, like having healthcare for all instead of having, it through your worker or your workplace. There's just a lot that intersects with one another, and a lot of it goes back to labor.
Okay, because I was so how much do you want minimum wage to increase? Which the amount you're seeking to have that to be increased?
See, when I was at like a meeting, I said something. I was like, at least $20 an hour. I was like, at least, and people were like, that's it. And I'm just like, I don't know, like what. I was like, I want universal basic income, if anything, so that everybody can just live, and we can regulate the like the housing market so that the corporations don't own everything, and just make it a right. So it just, I genuinely don't know because I want everybody to kind of not be equal essentially, but yeah, I do with money. I get it, like we're the land of opportunity, but we have people that are sleeping on the streets. So I just don't think people should have millions of dollars when others can't even like eat and sleep and be safe.
And so like you want $20 increase in you want the amount to increase to minimum wage of $20. So what about trade policy when it comes to, because like I know that we in in Detroit, y'all, the steel industry, y'all export cars and other parts to other nations. What would you change trade policy to help out the people in your district? I mean, what trade policy do you like to see to to change things in the 13th district is what I'm asking. That's a better
Um,
question.
yeah, I don't I think like I have a shirt that says not another trade deal. So I when we like limit the ability to work with other nations, we're just limiting our income. Like we could be, we could be sharing goods, getting more. Like we have to stop living so closed off and like against one another. Obviously, we need stronger like labor laws in other countries so that people aren't just outsourcing everything. But we, I don't know, it's so hard. It's so complex. There's so much to everything, and I just want everybody to eat. So it's so hard. Um, but yeah, I just not like no trade deals like isolating people and the tariffs and making everything so expensive from particular countries. We need to just work together and stop. We all grow different things, we all produce different things, and we can share that. But I think we need to stop also making such dumb objects. Like I said, I know the free market and all of that, but we mass produce things that don't bring any value. And if we just kind of focused on that maybe as well, and only producing things that have substance and bring value to our society, then, and I know it's hard to like say things like value, but we just have so many little objects that we make and they just get thrown away.
Okay. Um, what is your opinion on the environment, green energy? What policies you would like to see concerning the environment and what types of energy sources that you would like to see us tap into?
I think solar is good, and we need to stop factory farming. That's one thing that I know is really bad for the environment, is just mass producing essentially animals and slaughtering them. I think if we went back to like more community gardens and farms and things like that, localized, that would help the environment. So, and then transitioning more to public transportation instead of having all these vehicles out on the road, and transitioning into like cleaner vehicles, as I think we were doing that. I don't know. I haven't been in Stellantis in like 3 years or 2 years now. So I don't know how the auto industry, like how they're producing them exactly, if they're going more to electric. But I thought I saw something saying that they're going to do the regular engines, but I don't know. Um, so yeah, and then I guess one more thing I can talk about trade, since like the bridge here, there has been the Ambassador Bridge, and it has been privately owned by the Maroon family for a very long time, and they have been blocking building another bridge, and it's like an international border, like crossing from Canada to Detroit, and it's only been one bridge, and they've been like lobbying against having another bridge built for like 20 years now because they want to control it, and they don't keep it like up to date. And so managing the international like commerce law and looking at them is a really big thing that I want to do for Detroit, because they are just capitalizing and like buying up all the properties around the bridge that they own. And there's just a lot of things that they do. Like they think they donated or had a PAC where they put $1 million into a campaign just to stop the bridge from being built.
Okay. Um, and I think that's. Let me see what else I need to ask. Um, and so according to your website, you are anti APAC, and
Mhm.
and I appreciate that you're anti APAC. What is your um policy concerning PACs, super PACs, and foreign interventions in our elections?
It's supposed to be illegal for any foreign like anybody to influence. Like I'm reading the book on impeachment of Donald Trump, or what they wanted to, or what they were expecting to happen in like 2017, and reading about the Russia thing. It was
Hmm.
just disgusting of how much he gets away with. But shoot. What was the whole question again? Sorry, I got on a tangent about Trump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Oh, PACs and stuff. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I have a lawsuit in currently to get money out of politics. So I'm trying to get rid of that. I think it's absolutely sickening. I'm like studying people's donations and stuff currently, and these PACs just have millions or billions of dollars like total, and it's like we could be putting that money into something beneficial, not just to pay politicians to run for office. It's sickening. Like I hate it. So yeah, I want to get rid of all that. That's my goal. So if I can do that, that would be great. I'm trying to deem it unconstitutional under the Equal Protection Clause, because women couldn't even have a bank account until 1974, and in the year 1976 is when they established the case law to make it so that you can't discriminate against people for spending money on elections. So they equated freedom of speech and money in the year 1976.
Okay. Okay. Um, since though we're talking about APAC and so forth, what what you do? Because Michigan is in Wayne County. Is Islamic, right? You have many members that is of
Yeah.
Islam. Okay. How would you when it comes to foreign policy, what would be your approach as a congresswoman representing 13th district concerning Palestine, concerning this new flare up in Iran? What would you be your approach?
Um,
Should you win?
we need to stop funding a war. Like, it's just obnoxious. We keep going to war for what? It's just because a president wants to play Call of Duty essentially with the American people. And it's just ridiculous. I don't think that we should be helping commit genocide and bombing like girls' schools. To me, it felt pretty symbolic when they like bombed a little girl's school. I was like, it seems like they were saying to women, like, we're coming for you. So I don't know. If I win, I want to work with other countries and not fight, because I don't know how we're still blowing people up in the year 2026. We should be able to communicate.
Okay. Would you um speaking about Donald Trump? I mean, you know what? No, no. Let me not go there. Let me start with this because you mentioned women's rights, right? Girls.
Mhm.
Um, how would you strengthen the role of women in the United States and around the world, and also concerning abortion and other issues?
I'm very upfront about my past, and I was like a wild party girl when I was growing up, and I was just a broken little girl. I was just using alcohol to cope, and I share that story and a lot of the other things that I did because women are just shamed into silence, and we see all these men in power who have done horrendous things to women and children, and somehow they're just still sitting there in their suits smiling, and women have just been kept out of everything. So just by being honest and being confident, because we're just told to sit down and shut up, and we can't do that. Like, we have to not listen. We have to make our ancestors happy for what they did, because women back in the day, oh my God, they would dream to do what I'm doing and like talking back how I do. Like, my frontal lobe would have been removed back in the day. So I'm just liberate women by being positive and being a girl's girl. It's really hard in society when you're taught to like seek a man, but we don't believe in that anymore. I think or women don't as much. We're like the only species that gives birth the way that we do that isn't led by a matriarchy. And it's like, if it was natural, like the patriarchy, you wouldn't have to fight so hard and restrict women. So it just, yeah, when you read the laws from like 1880s, it says a woman's task is the benign, or a woman's job is the benign task of being a mother and a wife. Like, it's just saying like that's our job and that's all we can do, and men literally wrote that down confidently, like, yep, I said that.
Hmm. Um, and I'm seeing somewhat something else I want to talk about. I know you're up in Michigan and you're not affected by the redistricting
Mhm.
efforts in Louisiana, the Carolinas, Florida. What's your opinion? Do you think though this should be a way to stop the redistricting in other states? Have you thought any idea on how to prevent that from, the Civil Rights Act of Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, I should say, has been eroded away. Uh, the Voting Rights Act of '65 has now been
Maybe
neutered.
get rid of the electoral college. I think I wrote that after Trump won. I think I wrote that when I was like writing down a bunch of things that I wanted to accomplish in my life because I was so mad that he won, because the world hates women. But yeah, I got invited to come down to Tennessee for I think in a couple of weeks to discuss this and learn about it. It's just sickening. So getting rid of the electoral college is something that we could do so that that doesn't even matter and it can just be popular vote. But we just have to get people involved, and having a white woman in Congress that isn't afraid to like look at the racist white men and be like, you are blatantly like trying to exclude black people out of voting because you're scared of what they would do to you if they got power because you know what you did to them. So it's just like, as a white woman, I can say that and then they can't call me anything racist because it's like, yo, I could be your granddaughter or your daughter. Like, you know, you're evil. So I think having that in there helps as well.
Okay. And how would you improve race relations in America then?
Just as I said, by talking to people, like, we are just so divided because that's what they wanted. Like, I grew up in a predominantly white area and I didn't learn the history of like Fannie Lou Hamer and women like that who were really big in the civil rights movement and women's rights. I just heard about the white women and how I didn't learn that they were excluded, like black women were excluded, even though they like, helped pave the way for the women's suffrage and all of that. So just educating people and teaching the real history and not letting it die. I think they were trying to build a women's like museum in DC and they just struck it down, like they changed their mind, and it's just sickening because so many women have done amazing things and the men in their life just overpowered them and took credit for it, and yeah.
Okay. Would you accept or would you favor since we brought up on reparations in Black America,
Mhm.
Black society, um, would you favor any sort of reparations, or and if so, what type of reparations ideal you would bring forward?
I wrote a paper on it and I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but I'm pretty sure I have the same ideas as I did then. Just basically like tracing back the lineage. And I know it's a very hard thing to do, especially when people like change their names and don't know their families because they were ripped apart. But paying attention to like the corporations that have evolved and benefited from slavery and oppression, they need to pay. Jewish people get reparations, and I know that it's easier to track their lineage, but the Holocaust was X amount of years and slavery was like 400 plus Jim Crow. It's just, it was written into like documents, like not to have a black person own this house. So we can see it. We just have to, I think, just educate the white individuals on it because they think that they're going to pay for it. And it's like, I'm like, you don't even have enough money to be paying for it. It would be the rich people and the corporations. So yeah, I do. It's a thing that we really need to discuss and get more people to have an open mind on it because after I learned that Jewish individuals, even during COVID, got some reparation like type funds, I was like, well, what the hell? I was like, that is
Mhm.
insane. I'm like, that's this like 2020 and no black people can't get any. Like I just saw that they gave 6 million or something to the January 6th people. And I'm like, what the hell? Like I can't believe they just do this. And like they can't hide it now. Social media brings it everywhere, but we just gotta get more people involved.
And plus, though, we gave money to Argentina this past summer, things like that, and you also gave money to Israel funding
Mm,
their efforts against the Palestinians, or I should say Benjamin Netanyahu. I should say I'm going to separate.
yeah.
I want to separate. I don't want to seem to be anti-Semitic,
Yeah.
because the focus should be on Benjamin Netanyahu and his administration.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah. If you can give all this money to all these other groups, then you should at least take care of Americans. And since the African Americans, Black America is America itself, you should give your own people some money. That's the way I see it. Um, so, um, I know that you have been in a firestorm as late. Um, there has been many news articles, TikTok videos, uh, X videos of you twerking. Um, can you
Yeah,
give us?
they just ran. Okay, so I was just mocking people. I don't remember what it was. These videos are from like December. I know it's not that long ago, but they were just calling me classy. So for absolutely like I wasn't being classless. Like I think it was for swearing. So then I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a classy bitch. Like okay, I just make fun of them because I'm like, you seem so stupid. I'm like, we have pedophiles in office. That's fine, but I can't swear. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. So in my opinion, it helps liberate women because I'm just calling out their hypocrisy. I'm not twerking for votes. Like, it's a good time. It's fun. I used to dance and stuff like back in the day and partying and stuff, but I don't even do that. I don't go out. So it's just me having a good time in my kitchen, all by myself in my house, making fun of MAGA people.
Okay. But, because of that, do you think though that improves women in general, or do you think that would help women by? Because I saw on your website you had the um your mug shots,
Hmm.
um and such. How would that does that? Do you think that helps your campaign or
Yeah, I
on your
mean
life?
they're gonna bring it out anyways. That's what somebody was saying to me. They're like they would probably figure out that you've been to jail anyway, so might as well put it out there. And it's just yeah, I learned from everything. I grew. That's what jail and like prison is supposed to be, but we all know it's not. Um, but it should be reform and like you should learn your lesson and not be ashamed because then if you're ashamed of it you didn't really grow from it or I in my opinion actually learn like if you can't talk about it you're not
Mm-hmm.
over it you are not like at all so
Do you mind me sharing the photos of your mug shots if you don't
oh
mind?
I don't care they're on there they're
Okay.
so bad
Yeah.
they're so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Because right here, right, this is on your website. So can you tell us about each and every one of those mug shots? Because
I can no, I can try. Okay, so the one in the 12/1 of 2012, I think I got a drinking ticket. So I was in my apartment that I had and underage drinking. So then a few days later, I don't even know. I think I got why did I get arrested again? Oh no, that wasn't. That's 6/12. Okay, these dates are weird. Right? 1/12. I don't know how these dates go. Um The one where I'm smiling again and don't, yeah. I don't know. I had a warrant for something. I think I just didn't pay. So then I went and turned myself in. And then the one with the blonde bangs, whew, that one, I think I had a warrant as well. And me and my boyfriend were sleeping and they banged down our bedroom door. And it was like there was a bunch of people at the party. It was like, what was that movie? X? I don't remember what it was. It was like where they had a really epic party. It was like in the 2000s. I don't know, but we had so many people there. The house was like, covered in just people sitting on the floor while me and my boyfriend went to jail. And then I think this next one it might have been like my DUI. So that was like the last time I went to jail because I learned my lesson. I got DUI.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I saw that on your website, so that's why I asked because I saw that
No, you're
on
fine. No,
there.
you're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
It was a long
yeah,
time ago. It's funny.
yeah. Oh, okay. So being a because on your website you said you are a single mother and so forth. So as a single mother, being a blue collar uh, worker, uh, what value of that would you bring because of that experience, I should say? What would you bring that into fold? Uh, what experience that you like to bring that to Congress, I should say?
So, are you talking about, you said being a blue collar single mother or jail or what were you, or all of
Oh
that?
you know what? Basically all of that. Basically all of
But
that.
we're all working people. And when you have been a working class person, you've seen it. Like so many people go to jail. People cope with alcohol and don't, they just don't have time to like deal with their life and problems because they're just so busy working and you're depressed, but you're like, oh, gotta go to work, gotta pay these bills. And I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be miserable. And you're like, I'm supposed to be happy right now. I have a 4 bedroom, 4 bath house, like with an in ground pool. And I just wasn't. And I'm like, wow, the American dream isn't all it's meant to be. It's just corporate greed, people wanting to make money and you going to work and build stuff for them. So going to college along with that really showed me how disconnected the like educated are from the working class. And yeah, you can make money in the working class, but there's no value like on education. It's just it teaches you so much. You can critically think and see things for what it is, and especially if you've worked too. So just being a real
Okay.
person.
Right. Oh, you know what? And I forgot to ask you about education. I'm glad you brought that up. So, what education policy would you like to see erect? Because in some states, like the old Confederate states, like where I'm at,
Hmm.
where there are more people, that are well, let me say it like this: our budgets is spent more on inmates than are on students.
Yeah,
And
because
how
it's
would
modern day slavery. So that's why I want like prison reform because they just capitalize on it. It's just disgusting. Like there should be no reason that inmates in Alabama cannot get parole, but they can be bussed out to go work at the DMV. It's just slavery and people don't know about it. And so like you said, education policy, we need to actually teach children about their bodies and the real history in America. Like I'm sorry, maybe they do need to know what y equals mx plus b is, but like, why? They don't even, we could prevent teenage pregnancy if we just taught girls, like, how you get pregnant, because it's only like 6 days out of the month, and you don't know that. And I'm like, dang, that sucks for a girl that gets pregnant the first time she ever has sex and she's uneducated, you know? It's like, like we wouldn't have all these problems if we just taught people things and they just want money. So yeah, like you said, it's just disgusting that it's not disgusting that they're paying more for the prisoners because they deserve to eat, but it's like, why? Why aren't you putting those resources into educating them and actually rehabilitating them? So,
Okay. Would you favor, because like I think it's Tennessee or Kentucky, I think one of those two states where they're trying to lower the age of consent and bring child marriages. It's even in Oklahoma they're trying to
Like
bring
it's
child marriages into Oklahoma.
disgusting.
So so would
No.
so would you nationalize child well, it's already nationalized,
Yeah.
but would you strengthen laws about the age of consent laws concerning
Yes,
that?
it's
Because
disgusting. Cause like I said, I remember the day I lost my virginity. It was like May 10th of 2008. I was like 14. I should not have had sex then. Like you don't even really know what the hell it's for. And you just see it in movies and it's like idolized, like, oh yeah, and then boys especially, like boys were taught to just be pieces of shit and have sex with people. Like, and that's why we have such a problem that women get hurt and then like kids getting married, that's just crazy. I like the hearing thinking that I used to want to be married by 25 is crazy now. Like that's not that old. 30s are your prime in my opinion. And yeah, I would definitely strengthen that because it's sick. Let kids be kids. Just let them be kids. And that's what's wrong with the world. They expect kids to act better than adults. And I'm like, you should know better. My kid shouldn't have to know better already to how to keep his not hit people like adults hit people. I don't know. I could go on a tangent about that. That just grossed me out that they're trying to do that.
okay, so so go talking about abortion. I don't know if I brought this up. So how would you deal with the Dobbs case and which ended Roe v. Wade? Would you codify Roe v. Wade, or would you try to do another type of law that would protect the women's right to choose?
Probably right to choose. I'd do a law because it's ridiculous. It's why would you ever want a child to come into this world that is not wanted? It
Hmm.
that is why we are in the predicaments. Like not that my parents like abused me physically, but like my mom shouldn't have had me. She was 19 and I think she just wanted to be loved and that's what they taught girls back then. And she was not the nicest. She taught me how to be a strong woman, but she didn't do it in the ways that really benefited me. So I went off on the wrong track. Like I turned 14, like I said, and they didn't know what the hell to do with me. And it's because I watched their behavior. So yeah, I think women should have the right to choose. It's not just this little thing like, oh, they say close your legs. It's like, it's a whole human that's going to come out of you and you have to raise. And that should be something you want, or at least teaching people how to raise children if they get pregnant, if they're just going to try to like not allow abortion. But that's not what I want. So let's not talk about that because we'll talk about abortion will be legal.
Okay. Well, it seemed like though you want to add something on to it. I mean, it seems like you holding back on that, but it seems like you want to go on a tangent.
I
Um,
do. I'm very passionate about that right now. It's making me mad. I can't believe that I have children. So it's like, and I love them and I wanted them. And I know how hard it was and like how hard it is sometimes when, like yesterday, I was on a podcast and they wouldn't stop bothering me. And I said, guys, you're making me want to punch you. And like, I don't really want to, but it's like, oh. And then if somebody doesn't want that child, I can see why it happens. And it's so sad to think about. But that's why kids are abused. And the Child Protective Services is just, I had a girl who was adopted that she lived in my basement. She I think she's like 25 or 26 now, but she was like in the foster care system because her mom lost custody and then she went with this family and the father did awful things to her and her siblings. It was worse. She was worse off than she was before, but it's supposed to be a good system. So it's kind of human trafficking. There's just a lot of corruption within every system.
okay, and I'm glad you brought up human trafficking and the southern border. How would you deal with the southern border immigration and the human trafficking that case that is just blown out of control? How would you deal with that?
A lot of human trafficking is labor, and we just need to have stronger labor laws, like we've been talking about. And then with the border, I don't, I as a human who has traveled, I hate that we have borders. Like, I get it that we need it for like tax purposes and things like that, but we all live on this planet. We all are humans. Like, we all should be able to access the world. And we just need to, I guess, with human trafficking, though, I took a course on it. It's hard. We have to teach people how to spot it, and giving people universal basic income would really help with that, because I know a lot of the times when immigrants are here, and like, or just people that are poor, they end up sending their kids because they think that they're going to like work, but then they end up trafficking them, and then they pretend to like, talk to them. I don't know if this happens that much now that like phones and social media, but it's sickening. If we just paid people and gave them like a way to live, I don't think we would have a lot of the problems that we do.
So like you're in favor for open borders, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I guess. They're gonna shoot me for that. But yeah, like, I just I just think that everybody should be able to enjoy the world. Like, we should check and make sure that people aren't like offenders and stuff like that. But we I feel like we need a registry of people who have hurt people, like, internationally. We shouldn't just be so about our like jurisdictional stuff. It's like people are so focused on that when the main focus should be like helping people.
Okay, so like you want over here in America, right? You want America to be part of a something akin to the EU, where people can just cross borders without much uh, restrictions.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I see what you're talking about. Okay. Um, and something else I want to say. Uh, I lost my notes here. I was going to ask. We talk about abortion. We talk about education and so forth. Um, in day one, right? Assuming assuming you're congresswoman,
Mhm.
how would you approach um the Trump administration, from he Hepseth, um,
Oh, I think
Rubio, Donald Trump? How would you?
impeach. I'm a part of the courage candidates, and on day one we said we would impeach Donald Trump. So we'll do that, because they've done so many things. So hopefully we can get the House and the Senate so that we can actually successfully impeach them, and they should be tried for what they have done. They have literally killed American citizens, sending them to war, playing Call of Duty.
Okay, and about ICE, right? Oh, that's my next one.
Oh,
Well,
abolish ICE. They're just a racist agency that was invented after 9/11 to keep the fear mongering going.
okay, because of ICE, have y'all have any protests against ICE? Has ICE ever come to Detroit?
Yeah,
And
we have protests every Saturday in Romulus at around the airport, because they're trying to build a facility there.
hmm
So yeah, that's I haven't seen much of ICE like within the community here. The law enforcement is not supposed to be working with them, and I think they actually like put people out, like some police officers that did work with them. So
so like that is a positive sign
hmm
of
yes.
Michigan. Okay, okay. Let me see. Let's talk about ICE. Have there been any violence by ICE in your area?
Um, I don't remember the statistic, but it was saying that there's like a bunch of people disappearing every day in Michigan because of ICE. And it's just really sad. I can't remember. It was a big number though.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, let me see what else. What would you like to see what is your vision, right? For Michigan, for America, for the next 10, 15 years. Um, and what what would you like to see?
I just people being treated equally. We should have a representative of the population within Congress. So hopefully within the next 10 to 15 years we can transition that. We can get it where 50% is women, and then even by demographics, because I know other nations, they don't do it by like that, they do it by political party. But our
Hmm.
nation is so big in comparison to a lot of the other ones, so we should really have a representation of our population within the government so that it's fair.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. One question I'd like to ask you, and I forgot to ask this question, and I should have asked it when I was talking about agriculture. What is your view on agriculture and water? Um, because in many states like Kansas, um, um, Nevada, not yeah, Nevada, where water is being scarce, um, about water rights and the idea of what's called data centers stealing water. How would you, as a congresswoman, how would you try to solve that issue?
Yeah, I saw AOC in Congress bringing mason jars of water of people's drinking water since the data centers have been built, and it's brown. But I actually went and met with somebody, and he was younger. He works in Livonia with city council about policy for data centers, and he was talking about getting them to be zero admissions, and they are proposing that. So that's what I would want to do. It's inevitable, we can't fight the data. It's just how we're on the internet now, so everybody has data and it needs to be stored. But what they do in Europe, I believe they were trying, is putting like little data center type things into people's homes. And maybe you could get an incentive for having that instead of making these huge facilities. We could have one in somebody's home or basement, and then putting them in the ground. It's easier to cool, but there's just still so much. I think we need to really study things before we just put them up and allow them to be there, because like you said, the water is scarce.
Well, you know what, what you're saying kind of makes sense. If every county can have their own little data center or town, I should say, where
Mm-hmm.
it's buried in a cooling environment, where it's below ground.
Hmm.
I think that would be a better option than have one big massive data center that's soaking up the cool water, and then people is receiving no water at all,
Hmm.
because of the farms and ranches that um needs water to feed themselves. I think that would be a better option though. So yeah.
Hmm.
Um yeah. So I think that's it. I'm going to ask. But is there anything else you want to add on?
No, I don't think so. I got to talk about things in a pretty laid back way right now. I feel like I was just ranting but passionate. But no, just we need more women to get in office, and just people, just regular people. Just don't be scared. It's a lot. It's kind of fun though. I just get to talk to people all day and just see what other people like and have ideas of. I've learned a lot of things from people, like the in the ground. I learned that from this kid Jacob. So it's it's cool. It's cool doing this.
Okay. Well, how is your experience running? Assume that I think this is your first time, right?
I
So
mean,
so
it's hard. It's hard, but you just have to read and then not let these people intimidate you. I've had so many people try to tell me to drop out and like But you can't listen to them. You just got to do what you
Or,
like.
are they telling this online, or have they approached you
I
on the
had somebody
street?
take me to coffee, and yeah, he was trying to convince me to drop out and told me that the UAW had already endorsed somebody else. And I was like, that's weird because I just talked to them and they said they don't do that till January. And this was like back in August. And
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, oh, so yeah, it's very. He was trying to say he would fund me if I ran for like school board or something like that.
Oh yeah. So do they? So the UAW, right? So
Hmm.
is it the local group that's endorsed you, or is the natural group
I'm
that's
hoping
endorsed
we're still waiting, so I don't know. They haven't made a decision yet. So it would be the I mean it would be the local, but it's still at the national level. So they're the ones that choose, but it would be like the UAW as a whole.
you? Okay. And you've been a member of this union since how,
2013.
since 2013. Oh, long time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
both my parents work at Chrysler and both my grandparents retired from there. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well. I got nothing else to add on to ask. So I appreciate you, Shelby, Miss Campbell, for uh, being a guest and everything. And I wish you the best. So I hope you.
Okay. Well,
All right.
thank you. My kid is smacking at me because he wants me to get him some food. So I gotta
Yeah. Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that in the background. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
It's my 4-year-old. Yeah, quit smiling, little boy. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. You have a good day, Miss Campbell. So
You too.
all right. Now you have a good one. So this includes my interview with Shelby Campbell, the congressional candidate for Michigan 13th district. I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.